Hello and welcome to Introduction to Epistemology, and today we are going to discuss reason and rational reflection. To start with this topic, we need to understand that for any reason, it the main thing that is behind is the critical thinking or critical reasoning, which is a balance of reasoning and reflection to assess and develop options and plan. And when we talk about critical thinking, it is defined in various way by different websites. Like dictionary have defined it as careful thought or consideration. Oxford English Dictionary defined as serious thought or consideration, whereas Colin Free Dictionary explain it as in term of quiet or thought contemplation. So you can see that it is defined in a various ways to explain the critical thinking, and if you see the common thing in all definitions is that this is a thought process which define critical thinking, and that thought process consists of the balance between reasoning and reflection, and that's the summary of this slide. And if you want to put the evidence, okay, how can we justify that? Like for example, I give a simple example why we call square a square or a rectangle a rectangle. This is a big question. That for example, if we have a reason why we have a reason to give name as square, so we're giving them as name as square because we know that all sides are equal and all angles are at 90 degree. This definition does not imply to rectangle or does not apply to rhombus or trapezoid. So if you see these are all quadrilateral that you already studied in your schooling. So why, if you take a look on rectangle, why we call it as rectangle, why we don't call it as square? So the answer is very simple, because we have a reason that rectangle have opposite sides equal to 90. Square does not have. Square have all sides equal to 90. If we talk about rhombus sides are all sides are equal, which is in rectangle, and square does not fit. So you can see that there is a reason to have anything, and these reasons will have some critical thinking behind that, and obviously then that critical thinking using with reason and then rational reflection to assign some definition or give some name to something. So that's a good example if you want to learn what is reason and rational reflection. David Cobb in 1939 is an American educationalist, and he gives some learning styles. And if you take a look of this diagram, you can see that learning style consists of lot of things. Among them, reflection and observation is the part. And you can see, if you see this thing like for example, you can see reflection, observation. You can see that the reflection, observation, which is also mentioned as watching, is connected with, if you see in the center is the perception continuum, and it means that it starts with the perception, which is a continuous process, and that process is like how we doing the thing or how we think about the things. So that could be either reflective observation by watching the things, and then doing experimental or active experimental of doing. So there are two things: either we are doing some task, and when we're doing the task, like doing experimentation, like researchers did research in the laboratories, is an experiment. Or on the right side, if you see, the reflective observation is about watching the thing, observing like human behavior, observing the human behavior by recording the video, putting the camera, and then recording the human behavior is a simple example. If you see that the perception continuum on the top side is about concrete experience, which about the feelings, and that experience feelings, maybe if we talk about behavior, we can talk about emotions like depression, sadness, or happy, or anxiety. Or you can see on the downside, we're talking about abstract. So if we see that abstract conceptualization, you can see it is about thinking, like to develop a thing or to design some task or to develop a research model. So that is our abstract conceptualization, that before doing experiment or before watching the thing or before we're talking about feelings, we are planning to do the things. And if you see in the small rectangles, you can see that it could be four main things, which is accommodating what we feel and do, then diverging what we feel and watch, like for example what we are interested to feel, and if we are happy we are watching what are the things we watch. It could be, you can apply this thing in your, maybe in your daily life, or you can apply in the scientific world, like what the researchers like to do, they will watch this thing and then they do accordingly. Then we have assembling, like we think and then watch. Like for example, if you don't know any terminology, students search online on Google or Wikipedia and then watch it, and then obviously the process is known as assembling. Then we have converging, which is we think and then we do the task. For example, if you want to write an essay, you think first about the premises, or maybe you think about the idea and then you start writing. So this could be explained in terms of converging. So that's explained by David Cobb, and we will study more in detail in upcoming lectures. So thank you so much for today's lecture and hope to see you again.